Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Yo, it's Classic with the classic codes. We got another reaction today, man. We heading over to 8 at the table. You know, these are always fun, right? So we gonna have a good time with it. I haven't seen this one, so we going straight authentic with it, and I ain't gonna waste no time. Before we get into it, though, I need you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the like button on this video for sure, because it's free, right? And then drop comments as we go along, whether you agree or disagree. Let's have a conversation, because we gotta crack these codes, man. This video is entitled "Who Started the Gender War?" So man, I'm interested to see what they about to say. And again, I haven't seen any of this at all. So we gonna roll. Let's do it.
So we're talking about men and women gender wars. Who started it, or how did it start, and the solutions for it. So I'm gonna just alley-oop this to Erin and let her segue this off, because that's my good colleague.
I don't know how it started, but my assumption is that so don't come in the comments talking no bullshit. My assumption is that it came from the power dynamic between men and women after women started to gain equal rights and opportunities. And I think that while women have been getting equal rights, or striving for equal rights and opportunities, the resistance has generally, I would think, has come from men who are the ones who would have to pivot and change. And there's resistance to changing against, something that's been, a certain way forever. So I'm assuming that's what it is.
I got some shit for y'all, but go ahead, Smooth.
I was about to say, do y'all know how all this stuff started to begin with? Like how women rights and women voting and all this stuff started? It really was just because the government couldn't tax half the population. So you got 50% of the population is women, and they all sitting at home taking care of the kids. If they go to work, then we can get money from the father and the mother.
But the women weren't initially in the workforce. So the tax.
They were.
No, they weren't. Black women were in the workforce, but non-Black women were not. And what it was that when the men were off to war.
I don't like when people make shit up. She just made that up. It's not true. Like, you see, people be spewing shit and it be disprovable, But we podcaster, so everybody got a mic.
You still needed somebody to support the family. And so that's what drove women into work. And then when the men came home, they was like, shit, I got a little money, I got a little freedom. I wanna keep doing it. And so what you're saying, and this ties into what you're saying, the government pushed that.
They saw a benefit.
Exactly.
So okay, I did some.
It was about separating the household. If you get the man to work, the woman to work, and then the kids go to the schools, and the schools get educated by people that they put in place with the system that they put in place. It was a whole lot to it. But,
well, initially, the women's movement was really about the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Let's not confuse that. That was really how it started. And then you shifted to the need for equality, for education and schooling and everything else. But initially it was about women wanting to vote because women wanted the right to own their own property, having a sense of their own self. Because prior, women and the children you had in that family were deemed the man's property. So if the man decided to divorce the woman, she would be left with nothing. Even if he inherited everything from her, not only can he take everything that was hers, he could take the children, and she had no rights to that.
Okay, my opinion, that's not an opinion because it's a theory, because it's supplied by facts. First and foremost, and I love the fact that in my household, we be having conversations about this. So
really?
Yeah, so because my girl be talking about some stuff, I'd be like, yo, bro, you don't make no sense. So let's do it. So we do the research together. And I tell you the backstory. It started off about men providing. So when we actually did some research and we Googled the first considerable women's movement, it was started by married women in the late 1800s. And it was basically about the
Women's Property Act,
about the ability to own, whatever property that she was married into, right? Her name should be on whatever land, house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And That was the start of it. That was the very first time women decided to say, hey, listen, if we're married to you, we deserve to own some type of, or have some type of ownership for whatever we have been married into. And I know we've all, and I'm not going to play dumb here. I hope none of us are. We all know men who have bought houses, gotten divorced, left the house with the woman, or she won the house and the kids. So now we done seen a whole 360 or 180 flip from the men retaining rights of the children in 1993. That was?
No.
19, what was it?
In 1800.
1800s?
The late 1800s.
So in 1800s, men have already lost ownership of the kids, automatically granted to the woman.
Not on.
Damn near, like damn near. But then, so we lost that, or I don't want to say lost that. We gave that up. Now, then you.
But at one point, were the men solely responsible for the children? There's never been a time in history where the men were responsible for the children. And let's think logically about this. The reason why they typically have gone, I don't know about right now, but the reason why they typically have gone to the mother is simply because they were the ones who were giving the care to the child. And at no point in history has there been a time where the roles were reversed.
So
all right, let me just jump in here. Because they all over the place, and I kind of wanted them to let Rico give the history lesson. I found that to be interesting because it was research based. But they kind of just interjected, but it's okay. I'm gonna just jump in here and just say, this is all solvable, right? Women, have some discernment. Don't give up that coochie for nothing. Get to know the people you actually dealing with. Men ain't the greatest. Every man ain't the greatest actor in the world. Eventually he'll reveal himself, especially if he's not smashing, right? And then at that point, you should be able to find you a worthy husband to go up underneath his covering. At that point, be a submissive bride. Be a good woman to him. Be soft and gentle. When you express your desires, he'll want to fulfill them for you because you're providing him with a great experience. That's generally how it's going to work in most instances. If you want to be a pessimist and bring up like the worst case scenario, then by all means, drop a comment. But I think a lot of this just boils down to vetting, discerning, proper courtship, stop dating, stop sleeping around so much, have some discipline. I think better people end up with better people. Less relationship trauma happens, less broken families happen, et cetera, right? Like some of this stuff is fixable. Like we worried about who started the gender war. It's like, I get it. Women felt oppressed at some point in time and felt like they wanted to have a bit more of some legs underneath them, post being married and stuff like that. But what happened is they felt so oppressed that they pushed past the point of reasonability. And now we're operating and living inside of a society that is overcompensating. So I hope all of that added up for y'all. I'm gonna let them cook because they was kind of all over the place. I just wanted to jump in and just offer a framework of thinking and a perspective.
I don't think they use that. Honestly, when they come down to picking, that's another thing about the system is really statistically shown that with fathers, even if it's a single father and he take care of the kids, those kids come out better than the kids that's raised by strictly single mothers. It's better discipline, all those types.
Okay. But my thing is this: we could just talk. Let's talk about this. You also want to. You ask the question of when were they the caregivers or the caretakers? Well, realistically,
they weren't.
Once they got divorced, that man, right? If we're going with the narrative, women weren't working at that point, right? Women were not allowed to work at that time. Okay, we're talking about the late 1800s now. We're far back now. We play a major role based on results. So, but my thing is this is where the war starts, right? The war starts when there wants to be a neglect or a downplay on the role of the man, especially when it comes to a child, right? So when we say, hey, listen, statistically, data or the history, data, whatever, the history of fathers being present in that child's life with or without the mother, the biological mother, the kid has that kid has a better probability in going further. This is just what?
I just want to know what study it is.
Here's one study. And what we know is children thrive better in a two-parent household.
Okay, but we're not talking about. We're talking about the war here.
I think even
man, listen. This is a prime example of why women didn't have rights for so long. Get a woman from behind the computer, because we asked for a specific answer, and you give us the answer to some shit we ain't asked. We all know that the two-parent household is the ideal household. That is going to be in first place. When it comes down to single-parent households, the man as a single parent has damn near, still less, but damn near the same results as a two-parent household, whereas the single mother households are largely responsible for the majority of inmates and high school dropouts. So anybody can use, the AI, or they can use Google and find this information. But she found the information and decided to give us some information that we didn't fucking ask for. And that's why men are meant to be leaders, because we're logical and rational. Regardless, we just want to see it black and white, right, wrong. Whereas you ask a woman a yes or no question and they tell your ass maybe. Put a man behind that computer, please.
Now, no, we can attest to that now. Like even right now, think of what's going on now. All the kids with the guns, all the young boys, they all under 18. 9 times out of 10, they don't got their dad in their life. All the dudes that come on my show, the young rappers, I never had my dad. I don't know what my dad is. I never really worried about it. Y'all out here drilling. Y'all out here telling other kids to drill. They not guided. And I watch other mothers with their kids. Y'all don't know how to say no. You don't know how to sit that ass down. Like, it's a lot of things that y'all don't do that a man would do. So I feel like a lot of times that's the reason why they so off the leash now.
But I feel like
we've seen it firsthand how
symptom, and not like
right.
Like that's merely in. I agree with you, and I'm not disagreeing.
It's not the solution.
With the stat, but that's a symptom of a bigger problem, because the women are raising their children alone, not because they chose to.
Right. And some of them. Wait, hold on. Time out. Time the fuck out.
I was really about to get.
Some of them have.
Let's not make exceptions into rules. Let us not make exceptions into rules. Yes, there's some.
Yeah, no woman.
But at the end of the day, no one is saying it. I can't imagine
choosing to struggle with a child by themselves.
So do y'all think
yes, y'all do? That's a lie. That's a lie. Why do people say stuff that's not true on camera, knowing it's gonna get published? What are you talking about? You not choosing to struggle with the kid by yourself. Yes, you are. What are you talking? So to say that to be true, so every woman that's a single mother, these baby daddies just ain't shit as human beings. There's no good men with baby mothers, no men of principle, no men of integrity that have baby mothers. Why didn't those relationships work out? We know statistically in marriage we can keep track of it numerically, and it shows that women file for divorce the vast majority of the time. Fuck the numbers. The vast majority of the time. Don't y'all think that translates into relationships too? Every female you see on these internet streets, they ain't never been broke up with. They always the one that left, and they say it like it's a badge of honor. Y'all leave, so that is the choice to struggle with that baby on your own. Anton say it all the time on Anton Daniels' channel. I know we cover at the table right now, but he say it all the time. He think a lot of these baby fathers be ready to get back with their baby mamas if they could, but it don't be an available option to them because they rather see what the streets got to offer. Nothing, and they just getting older by the second. Tick tock. You understand me? It's stupidity that is championed by a group of other stupid motherfuckers. Yeah, girl, that's right. You could do it on your own. No, you can't. You wasn't even meant to. And then at the same time, y'all claim to be Christians too. Now, where that's at in the Bible? Single motherhood, baby mama shit. Like, what we really talking about around here? What are we doing, y'all? We just lost. You understand? We just lost.
They're not in kids' life just because they out here is partying.
For no reason.
Yeah, like they just like,
I just don't want to be here.
I don't know. I'm saying, let's just say we don't know why. But you know what we do know? That they're not there.
Yeah, the reason.
But a lot of those reasons are like governmental system reasons.
You cannot. First of all,
you got a lot of people that's incarcerated. So many dudes that's fathers are incarcerated.
Yeah, but the dudes that's fathers is incarcerated because these shorties like giving that cuckoo to the D-boy, to the scammer. to the dude that's getting that fast money, that illegal money. That's who they like giving that thing to. So yeah, he ain't all the dudes incarcerated ain't innocent. There's some innocent people in jail, but it ain't most of them. Most of them did something. A lot of them innocent of what they in jail for, but they're not innocent of crime. They be getting locked up for shit they didn't do, but they did a whole bunch of shit they ain't get caught for. Type shit. Come on, man. We not finna play like we don't know what this is, bro. I'm from it. I'm from it, bro. I ain't finna get on here and act like, nah, on this channel, we about cracking the code, so we got to embrace reality. So if they in jail, that means y'all was choosing funny on who y'all was giving that cooter to. Because why y'all wasn't giving it to that dude that was the valedictorian at the high school? Why he wasn't getting no twat? Huh? Why y'all ain't think he was cute? Huh? Why the dude that was winning, the dude, the captain of the math team, why he wasn't getting none in high school? Huh? Y'all only wanted to mess with the captain of the basketball team. And I was him. I was the captain of the basketball team. One of them. But you get what I'm saying? Captain of the football team. And I was him. Yeah. Y'all only the tall guy, the dark, the chocolate, the handsome. Dude over there, Point Dexter, he get more money than me right now. I know a couple Points Dexters that I got more coochie than, but they got more dollars than me. Straight like that. And that ain't saying I ain't got no dollars. They get more than me. Straight like that. But they wasn't getting chose. So we gonna point that glicky where it go. Come on, man.
Frustrated is real, but so much of this is just truly a plan. So much of this is already just something that was written down, implemented, and is working. Do y'all think we're made? Was it like a choice, like, oh, I want to sell this coke so I can buy these rims?
It doesn't
or
matter.
Was it to provide for your family?
Yeah, there's choices that a man makes.
See, and I hear funny, and I think this is a problem too. So, all right, so a lot of the women worst thing is like women, cool, y'all doing your thing.
Hey, at the table, I love y'all, and you know I'm gonna keep doing reviews on y'all shit, but the jump cuts on this one is nasty. I ain't gonna lie.
Winning, and I think this is what Rico was saying, whereas though now it's this thing where men are being down talked, like we worthless. We don't hold up our peace.
I'm
not saying y'all feel that way, but I'm saying that's why I feel like the war coming at. Like I was watching some girl and she in her car and she was talking about women. They did a study saying that women, black women, Latino women are now making XYZ, and the black man makes average $38,000 a year. And she was like, and I'm about to buy these $300 Balmain slippers. And y'all out here only that you had to work 3 days to get this. So it's just like that's what's
but here's the thing. This is what happens, right? Women try to separate from other women, right? And it's like that's the women that y'all trying to separate from is the problem. You're trying to say, oh, I don't think it's sensical. You're right, but you know how many millions of them that are out there? Do you know how many millions
or what
of those type of women that are out there? Do you know how many millions of those type of women are procreating? And then you're saying it's on a man to not deal with her, to try to deal with her. You know how many women that use kids as pawns? My biggest,
I would say most. If we say more than 50% is most, right? Mathematically, I would say most. I would say most. Let's talk to the fathers. Let's get his side of the fucking story. Let's talk to the fathers. I would say most. How many of these females that told that man he can't see his child for whatever emotional reason? I ain't trying to hear it. If it wasn't about safety, but again, who you having babies with? Because if him going with his daddy is unsafe for some reason, again, who you having babies with? You see what I'm saying? Like y'all, man, I hope y'all hear me. I swear I hope y'all hear me. Get in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Let's crack this code, man. Because what we really talking about? This one got me going, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
My opinion is this. The war has been started since men ruled women. Now men have been relinquishing powers to women, right? Over the last 200 years.
Wait, relinquishing means like you're doing it.
Like you're giving it up.
Yeah, they're giving it up.
No. Yeah. Relinquishing means like it has a connotation of like you're doing it
out of pity.
By choice, like without obligation.
No. Hold on. Let's get the definition of relinquish, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, I spell good. I spell good as a motherfucker. She just made something up. I don't like when people make stuff up. She said relinquishing mean it's like you giving out a pity. The definition of relinquish: voluntarily cease to keep or claim, give up. That's it. No connotation. She has her own connotation that she has on the word relinquish. And that's what I mean. That's why y'all not supposed to be the leaders. Y'all think with y'all emotions. How she feel about the word relinquish is what we supposed to roll with. The definition don't say shit about no pity or no nothing. It says to voluntarily, which is what men did, right? Because the women was making too much noise. We don't like all this. We don't like all this. They came together. They made some rah-rah. We like how we shut these broads up. So we relinquished rights and shit. And I'm not against women having rights. And I ain't trying to sound like I'm, I love women, but I think we've lost our way. I'm just being honest. I think we've lost our way. The man is no longer valued, and the women you got women doubling down on the bullshit. Meanwhile, while everybody want to be right, the black household going extinct. Y'all ain't paying attention. What's happening?
Listen, I think women need to understand this. If men truly wanted to run this world, they would have never gave anything out. The only reason why they did give it out is because they were actually like, you know what? We're wrong. So, for us acknowledging that we're wrong, here's this. Okay, cool. Then you go ahead and say, all right, now we work. Boom. Now let's fight for votes, voting rights. Boom. So now you got this. Men have been relinquishing power for the last 200 years in America.
All right, let me lock in. That shit ended abrupt as hell, y'all. Crazy. But yeah, I don't know if they trying a new editor on that one or what. That was different. But look, that one got me going because it was just like, what are we talking about for real? But check it out. I gave all the perspectives I got on that one. We ain't gonna beat the horse, right? So I need y'all to hit that subscribe button if you didn't. I need you to hit that like button for sure. And again, if you haven't commented already, drop your thoughts on any of the perspectives that were given, whether it be mine or the ones on 8 at the table. Let's have a conversation so we can get to the bottom of it, man. But if you don't do nothing else, stick to the codes. Yes, Lord.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.